My dear Lord, devotees who have fully dedicated their lives and your lotus feet certainly observe your presence as Paramatma in each and every being. And as such, they do not differentiate between one living being and another. Such persons treat all living entities equally. They never become overwhelmed by anger like animals who can see nothing without differentiation or put. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes angry or kills a demon, materially this may appear unfavorable, but spiritually it is a blissful blessings upon him. Therefore, pure devotees do not make any distinction between the Lord's anger and his blessings. They see both with reference to the Lord's behavior with others and themselves. A devotee does not find fault with the behavior of the Lord in any circumstances. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalaghaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stabidam Yena Bhudale Sayam Rupakadabhyam Dadadi Supadandigam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yudabadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunadhanidam Dam Sajivam Sadhuidam Savadudam Parijana Sahidam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalidam Shri Vishaghanidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhinabandhu Jagatpade Govesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुदे देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरूपस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरिः ओम तत्सत् नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते लोकनाथ स्वामी नामिने नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वत देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हरिः ओम तत्सत्. Dear Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for joining this very auspicious day of let me share again. Yeah. The auspicious day of this Chaturmasa. So it's as mentioned there, one should fully dedicate to the Supreme Lord in observance of the devotion. So we come to this chapter where Lord Brahma came to Lord Shiva in Kailasa with all the demigods. The situation is that the context of the situation is there was a great havoc that between Daksha and Daksha has been killed, and then Mother Sati is also committed and then entered into the fire, and there was a big havoc, and the entire arena and the sacrifice is completely destroyed. So this was not a good sign. So they all approached Brahmadev to see the solution, and Brahmadev and Lord Vishnu was not present in this sacrificial arena. And then they understood that what is going to happen. And then also Brahmadev is addressing back to the demigods that because of you have offended a great Vaishnava, you do not know the potency of Lord Shiva, you do not understand. On top of that, he is very sorry with this, the demise, the loss of his wife, Mother Parvati. And on top of it, Daksha was using all this, the words, the offending the Lord Shiva in such a way that one cannot even forget that kind of words offending against because of the envy of Lord Shiva. So you offended a great person, great Vaishnava, so now only way that we can go to Lord Shiva and pray for him and beg for pardon so that Lord Shiva may pleased with you. So this is a situation where Brahmadev and all the demigods they came to meet Lord Shiva. So there was beautiful description of Kailasa and all those. And then here, then Lord Brahma started to address the Lord Shiva, my dear Lord Shiva. I know that you are controller of the entire material manifestation. So this was Brahma was mentioning to the demigods initially. You do not know the potency, the power, the supreme position of Lord Shiva. Here Brahma addressing to Lord Shiva that you are the controller of the entire material manifestation, the combination of father and mother of the cosmic manifestation, and the supreme Brahman beyond the cosmic manifestation as well. I know you are in that way. So here Brahma is revealing the supreme position of Lord Shiva. As we know that Lord Shiva is not Jiva Tattva. So Lord Shiva is also Tattva is different from the Vishnu Tattva as well. But in other sense, Lord Shiva also part of the Supreme, that Supreme Lord Krishna. So there is a beautiful, beautiful it is mentioned in various scriptures, especially, Brahma Samhita reveals this aspect. And then also Shiva Puran, there is a Puran called Shiva Puran. And there's so many places it is revealed this aspect of it. Lord Shiva is also known as Maheshwara. Maheshwara means Maha means great, and Ishwara means the controller. The Lord Shiva is also a great controller in that sense. Lord Shiva is also known as Parameshwara. Parameshwara. Many times Lord Shiva is addressed as Parameshwara. He is also the supreme person. Lord Shiva also addressed as Vishwanath. Vishwanath means the Lord of the universe. Vishwa means this universe. Nath means the Lord. The Vishwanath, we heard that Kashi Vishwanath. Lord is this is Lord Shiva's another name, Vishwanath. So in many ways, Lord is in other ways that Lord is Ashutosh, very easily pleased. Lord is also another name of Lord is known as Shambhu, and there is another name called Sadashiv, and there is another name of the Lord Shiva called Paramashiv, Paramshiv. So that means that Shiv, the supreme, that Shiva is not belongs to this material world, but Param, the supreme. So that's a Sadashiv. So that Lord Shiva is the manifestation in this world, is that incarnation of that Sadashiv. So it's very well mentioned in various scriptures the position of Lord Shiva. So in this way we can understand. So Brahma is revealing like this. So Brahma is further saying, my dear Lord, your lordship has introduced a system of sacrifices through the agency of Daksha. So your lordship, because of here Brahma is not seeing as Lord Shiva is separate from the Lord. As we know that Lord Shiva, Vishnu and Brahma, they are all the guna avataras of the Lord, the incarnation of the Lord, Supreme Lord. We know that how Brahma is manifested from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and the lotus sprouted from the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So basically, Brahma is also the potency or expansion of the Vishnu Tattva or Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. But below, when it is in this material world, Brahma is also a Jiva Tattva. So there's the various manifestations of the Lord. As in the Bhagavatam says, Parasya Shaktir Vivideva Struyade. That supreme potency is manifested in various ways. So again, from the Brahma, we know that the Rudra manifested. This is the Rudra potency of the Lord, not exactly like the Shiva potency of the Lord. Shiva is the manifestation of that Sadashiv. And then 11 Rudras are there, 11 forms of other Rudras are there. Again, these are all the various manifestations of the Lord Shiva or the Lord Shiva's potency. So that's, the Shiva Tattva comes under the Shiva Tattva. So this way, Brahmadev is addressing, and thus one may derive the benefits of religious activities and economic development. So this is Daksha, because of the Lord is in Lord is mentioned, Lord is guiding and instructing that what to do for this the living beings, so that they can perform the sacrifice, they can live happily in this world. So Brahma says further, under your regulative principle, the institution of the four varnas and asramas is respected. So Brahma is completely addressing Lord Shiva as the supreme personality of Godhead here. So that is true. So we'll see that in a bit that how that is coming. So then further Lord Shiva, Brahmadev addressing, O auspicious Lord, You have ordained the heavenly planets, the spiritual Vaikuntha planets, and the impersonal Brahman sphere as the respective destination of the performance of auspicious activities. Similarly, for others who are miscreants, you have destined different kinds of hells which are horrible and ghastly. You sometimes it is found, yet it is sometimes found that their destinations are just the opposite. It is very difficult to ascertain the cause of this. So yes, I mean Brahmadev, he can understand who is the Lord Shiva, the potency of Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva also the part of the Supreme that we will see. So then this verse, today's verse, Lord Brahma is addressing to Shiva, my dear Lord, devotees who have fully dedicated their lives unto your lotus feet certainly observe your presence as Paramatma in each and every being. So this is another aspect of when we come to that realization, the first of all, we should have that self-realization that who we are. So once we have that self-realization, then we come to that the Paramatma realization. Because so when we see that the self is not different from the Paramatma, which is Amsha, the part of the Supreme, then that the same self, that same person, then see that the same self or the part of the Supreme in everything as Paramatma because of the presence of Paramatma in every living being. This is the realization, this is the perfection. By the loving devotional service, one can reach to that stage of perfection. So here, the Brahmadev is addressing Lord Shiva that one who are devoted to you, your lotus feet, can come to that stage. So, in one sense, dear devotees, the worship of Lord Shiva is also as worship of the Supreme Lord. So many names, many times, Srila Prabhupada also mentioned that's the purport. Whenever we address to the Lord Shiva in the process of bhakti, actually this is addressing to the Lord Vishnu, not actually to Shiva, because of Lord Shiva also comprises of the potency of the Lord Vishnu. So the Vishnu aspect is taking place there. So then eventually and gradually he will completely surrender to the Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, the Krishna. So this way we can see that the position of Lord Shiva. So and they do not differentiate between one living being and another. The person who worship the Lord Shiva also. Such persons treat all living entities equally. They never become overwhelmed by anger like animals who can see nothing without differentiation. This is another way that another Lord Shiva. So when sincerely one who worship the Lord Shiva, then is actually worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in the Brahma Samhita, it is mentioned that in the fifth chapter, the 45th verse, Brahma also revealing this one. This is Brahma Samhita, the prayers of Lord Brahma. Brahma reveals like this: Shiram yada dehi vikara vishesha yogat sanchayade nahi tada pradat asti hedo yes sambhudam yes sambhudam abhi tada samudvaita karyat govindamadi purusham tamakam bhajami. Just as milk is transformed into curd by the actions of acid, but yet the effect curd is neither the same as nor different from. It goes with milk. So I adore the primal Lord Govinda, whom the state of Shambhu is transformation for the performance of the work of destruction. So here, the Brahmadevi himself mentioned that the Lord's and how the Lord is transforming himself to us Shambhu, like how the milk, when touched by the acid, is become the yogurt or curd. But curd is the manifestation or it's deriving from the milk, but the yogurt or the curd is not milk anymore, but it's the potency, it's the same aspect of the milk. Similarly, Lord Shiva Shambhu is manifesting in this world from the supreme personality of Godhead, in the form of Shambhu or Sadashiva. So we know that when the creation manifests, right, Mahavishnu, when glances upon this Prakriti or this Jada Prakriti, so the consciousness was not there before. It was Jada, it was just like that. So we know that when Mahavishnu glanced upon the Jada Prakriti or these universes, then there is a glance, there is a hue manifested from the eyes of the Supreme Lord. That hue is known as the Shambhu or the manifestation of Sadashiv, who is in the spiritual realm or the Vaikuntha planet. As is mentioned that Brahma Samhita also, that Devi Talesha Tasya Devi Dhama Mahesh Dhama Haridama Haridameshu Deshu Deshu. That means the lower the Prakriti, the material nature is considered as the Devi Dham. Then the above the Devi Dham is called the Mahesh Dham. Then above the Mahesh Dham is called Haridham. So this Mahesh Dham is actually in Vaikunta, but not in the material realm. Devi Dham is the material realm, and above the Devi Dham is the Mahesh Dham. This is where the Sadashiv eternally resides. So basically, any incarnations of the Supreme Lord, these are the various manifestations of the Supreme Lord. So any incarnations, incarnation means avatar. Avatar means descending. So descending from the spiritual realm to the material realm. So they are all the potencies and all the incarnations are all always there in the spiritual realm or spiritual abode or in the Vaigunda. So similarly, Lord Shiva also in the form of Sadashiv, and that Sadashiv is incarnated as Shiva in this material world. Shiva means all auspiciousness. So this way, the Shambhu is manifested. That Shambhu again then come in contact with the Prakriti or called Rama. This is called or Devi. So this is where the creation. That's why Shambhu is also Shiva is also addressed as the cause of creation, and he is also the cause of destruction in the performance of the work of destruction. So whoever is created can also absorb it. That's the way it is. Nobody else can come. That's why the same potency of the Lord is manifested as Shiva or the Rudra, so that he can absorb it. He can take away everything. It's where it's come from. So he can take it everything. So this way, the Supreme Lord is manifested in this world that Brahma is addressing this way. So there is a beautiful translation. Will Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj put it together. So it reveals that the real nature of Shambhu, the presiding deity of Maheshadam, is described. Shambhu is not a second godhead other than Krishna. See that? Those who entertain such a discriminating sentiment commit a great offense against the Supreme Lord. The supremacy of Shambhu is subservient to that of Govinda. Hence, they are not really different from each other. The non-destruct distinction is established by the fact that just as milk treated with acid turned to curd, so Godhead becomes a subservient when he himself attains a distinct personality by the addition of a particular element of adulteration. This personality has no independent initiative. The said adulterating principle is constituted of a combination of the stupefying quality of deluding energy, the quality of non-plenitude of the marginal potency, and a slight degree of the ecstatic concognitive principle of the plenary spiritual potency. This specifically adulterated reflection of principle of the subjective portion of the divinity is Sadashiva. In the form of the effulgent masculine symbol, God Shambhu from whom Rudra Devi is manifested. In the work of mundane creation as the material cause, in the work of preservation by the destructions of sundry asuras, and in the work of destruction to conduct the whole operation, Govinda manifests himself as Guna Avatara in the form of Shambhu, who is the separated portion of Govinda, imbued with the principle of his subjective plenary portion. The personality of the destructive principle in the form of time has been identified with that of Shambhu by scriptural evidence that have been adduced in the commentary. The purport of the Bhagavata Sloka, Vaishnavanam Yada Shambhu, etc., is that Shambhu, in pursuance of the will of Govinda, works in union with his consort Durga Devi by his own time energy. He teaches pious duties, dharma, as stepping stones to the attainment of spiritual service in the various Tantra Shastras suitable for jivas in different grades of conditional existence. In obedience to the will of Govinda, Shambhu maintains and fosters the religion of pure devotion by preaching the cult of illusionism, Mayavada, and speculative Agama Shastras. The 50 attributes of individual souls are manifest in far greater measure in Shambhu, and 5 additional attributes not attainable by jivas are also partly found in him. So Shambhu cannot be called a jiva. He is the Lord of jiva, but yet partakes in the nature of separate portion of Govinda. So this is the complete understanding one should have with the Lord Shiva, and this is what is exactly Lord Brahma is addressing. Sometimes we have this confusion. Sometimes we discriminate in such a way that you know Lord Shiva is like a demigod or should not worship Lord Shiva. But worshippers of Lord Shiva, yes, it's as a Vaishnava. Vaishnava has a very clear goal. clear destination and clear path at whom he should worship. So when we worship the Krishna, the Supreme Lord, then everything is included. There's no need of separately to worship anybody else. But one who worship that, those who, the Shiva, also indirectly worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's the indirect worship of it. So we know that in the 10 offenses against the holy name, and it is in the Padma Purana which reveals that. This is from the Padma Purana. The Padma Purana reveals that the consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. So sometimes we have these offenses that, okay, oh, Lord Shiva is separate from the Lord Vishnu, so we should not do anything. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was went for the South India tour, Yatra, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also visiting the temples of Lord Shiva. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visiting the temples of Mother Parvati. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows that. So they are not different from the Supreme Lord. But as a worshippers of the Vaishnava is always, they are exclusive worship. Ananya Bhaktas, Vaishnavas are the exclusive devotees of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So everything is, all the worships are included. So that's the ultimate perfection. That's the ultimate worship of that. One can come to that perfection of that, the Supreme Lord, that even the Lord Shiva, direct Lord Shiva, then also those who are worshippers of Lord Shiva eventually come to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, because of Lord Shiva knows that this devotee is very sincere. Now he is matured, he is qualified to worship the Supreme Lord. So there is an indirect worship and there is a direct worship. But indirect worship doesn't mean that we are separating the Lord Shiva from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We know that Lord Shiva is the Supreme Vaishnava, Param Vaishnava, Vaishnavana Meda Shambhu. As we know that there are so many wonderful pastimes of the Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva wanted to engage and in the pastimes of the Leela of the Rasa Leela pastimes of the Supreme Lord. We know that the Lord Shiva also came and then became the Gopeshwara Mahadev. And we know that when Krishna manifested, appeared in Gokul, and then Lord Shiva wanted to see that the baby form, Lord Shiva understood that Supreme Master is manifested in this world. I wanted to see that the beautiful form of, the Lord Krishna, the baby form. Then we know that there are Shiva always appreciate the Vaishnavas. Shiva always likes to have the company of Vaishnavas, always have the association of the Vaishnavas. When Lord Brahma came to Kailash to see the Lord Shiva, there were four Kumaras, there were Kubairas, there is even the Narada Dev was present there. Even Narada Dev got up, and even seeing Lord Brahma, Shiva got up and paid the obeisances. This is the Vaishnava. This is the Vaishnava qualities. Because of what is Vaishnava qualities? That's the Vishnu is manifested in the heart of that devotee, so that all the wonderful quality manifests from that devotee. So this way, the Lord Shiva always appreciate that the Vaishnava and the Vaishnavas. We know that the wonderful pastimes of the Sanatana Goswami and the Sanatana Goswami and then Lord Shiva. So Sanatana Goswami was living near the Manasi Ganga there. Sanatana Goswami was every day feeling these mosquitoes. And Sanatana Goswami decided to go away from this place because of lot disturbances, and not to, there is a, this is changing the attention. So this way, then what happened? Then Sanatana Goswami decided one day that to go away. Then that day, Lord Shiva then came as in the form of a Brahmana and came to the Lord Sanatana Goswami and told that, Sanatana Goswami Baba, you don't need to go here. I mean, why don't you wait for one more day? That I don't think that mosquitoes will disturb you anymore. So then Sanatana Goswami took that the word of a Vaishnava Brahmana and then stayed that overnight. That night there were no mosquitoes at all disturbing Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami decided to stay there. This was wonderful pastimes of the Shiva, Lord Shiva, that how the Lord Shiva is always, he likes to have the association of the Vaishnava always. So Vaishnava and Madashambhu, and we know that all this wonderful, the Kailash and descriptions, all because of the Lord Shiva is the Vaishnava, Param Vaishnava, pure Vaishnava, always meditate upon the Supreme Lord in the form of Sankarshana and in the form of destruction. That same Sadashiva, same Shiva, in the form of Rudra, then become agitated from his transcendental, meditation, and then agitate and then become Rudra. The form is takes that the form of Raudra, and that's the time when Ananda Dev just shake the hoods, and this is the time that Lord Shiva also you know, get up and then do this transcendental dance. And then that's where the destruction started to happen. Then also it's mentioned that when the destruction of the pralaya, at the end of the pralaya, that same Shiva also then comes in the course of the creation again. So this way, the devotees, the Shiva Tattva is very, very, powerful and understanding. So this way, that we can also meditate upon the Lord Shiva in all respects. So there is nothing wrong. But Vaishnavas always have the exclusive worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In that worship, all the other worships are also included, like Krishna is Purna Purushottama. In the Purna Purushottama Krishna, the complete, and all the incarnations of all the other incarnations are included within the body of the Krishna. So when Krishna comes, it is not that the Krishna directly engage in the killing of all these demons, but in the within that the Vishnu or in the different other forms of incarnation is, involving in the killing of all this. So this way we can see that the Shiva is also part of the Supreme Lord. So here Brahma is addressing this to the Shiva, so that this can also we can also understand this way. Thank you so much, and I'll stop here with this note. Vindaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Back to you, Madhuri Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Sumitra Prabhu. We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. We'd like to offer prayers to the Supreme Lord. Today's prayers we will offer to Amrish Prabhu, our dear devotee, Srila Prabhupada's disciple, who had a stroke and is in critical condition. In Maine, he's the director of our Temple of Vedic Planetarium in Mayapur, and under him, this big project is manifesting in Sridham Mayapur under the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. So let's pray to the Supreme Lord for his recovery. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Shri Nrsimha,
Narsimha, Jai Narsimha, Jai Jai Narsimha. Praladesha,
Jai
Jai
Nrsimha, Jai
Baba.
Nrsimha, Praladesha, Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringam, Ugra
Ugra
Veeram
Veeram
Mahavishnu,
Mahavishnu,
Jalantam
Jalantam
Sarvotramukam,
Sarvabhaumukam,
Narsingam Vishnam
Narsimham
Bhishtam
Vishnam Bhadram
Namaham.
Murtyo Murtya Namamiham.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki
की
jai,
जय
Prahlad Maharaj
Raj
ki
की
ki
jai.
जय
Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Simon Vaishnavas, Mancha
Mancha
Kalpatarubhyascha,
मंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा
Kindra
सिंधु
Vindu
भवेच
Patidanam
पतितानां
Patitanam
पावनेभ्यो
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो
Namo
नमो नमः
Namaha. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki
की
jai, Srila
जय
Prabhupada ki jai.
जय
Kalpemanande
हरि
Hari
हरि हरि
Bol.
बोल
किसी में से
थैंक यू एवरीबॉडी हरि बोल